Short but sweet vlog on this one. This is the beginning of a 5-day gig. I'm in South Carolina. We're in Charleston. I've been here once before, working for the same agency. I'm going to talk about later why I was hired again for this agency. But this is really the only types of jobs where I am a commercial DP. Typically, I'm in the corporate space, I am in documentary, I am in social media content, and this is a really nice change because it's so much more intentional, each shot. So really like it that I can jump into this role at times. So we are scouting our location, all the locations for this week, but specifically we're going to start tomorrow in this interior. So we're going to have 2 people, 1 person already in frame, and then another walk in. I see those big windows in the back. I immediately am going to want to shoot light through. We do have a 600X to work with and some 300-watt fixtures. But through this window, we need to perfectly put the RV so that we can see that in frame, because that is what this whole project is about. It's about showing these RVs going to certain places. And we have about an hour at each location to lock off or to basically match up what the storyboards look like and how it'll actually work on location. So for this one, I punched in the phone to 3X, which I didn't know is about 70 mil on full frame. This is the frame we're probably going to work with and when we stage our actors. And it's a 3-person crew, really, as far as production goes. It is Jay, the director, myself as the DP, and then Jake as a second cam op, swing, and we'll all jump into any role that is necessary. Can I pet the horse?
He is a rescue.
Okay.
He was found tied to a tree on a levee.
This is our convoy of production people and second location. So we're seeing what animals they have here, what locations we can use to our advantage, and really hoping that it doesn't rain here. It's kind of open, a little empty. Might be hard to put animals together in the shot. It is just crazy to me that you can have inclement weather come in and it can totally derail your whole production. So we have fingers crossed that we're not going to run into those issues. As far as following the script, Jay is on his phone looking through the digital sheets. Personally, I always like having the paper so that I can write notes on it. And it seems like a trivial thing, but there has to be enough copies made for enough people. And the scout day is all about finding all these details, all these immediate reactions that you have when you see the space, and you're talking about lighting, and you're using your little sun tracker app, and where we could put this here, we could put this there, but if we get slowed down before, then that means the shadows are going to be longer. It's a really cool process, and one that I don't normally get to allow for on a lot of my jobs. Update on the leather jacket. If you've been watching my Instagram stories, you've seen the process of this new lifestyle I have. I'm a leather jacket owner, only because it was on a Black Friday sale. But honestly, it feels really cool. I love it. This is going to be our 3rd location, and we are going to be fighting the sun going down. So we're going to point this way because with all those backyard lights strung up above, it's going to look really, really nice. And then just kind of putting it in the iPhone cinematic mode to see generally what the blur would be. So speaking about timing, those lights are not going to show up if we are shooting at this time, but then we have to work around rain, and we can't have the talent out in the rain. So these exterior shoots are just crazy. Like they really can be changed at a moment's notice, and we have to be able to pivot. Whenever I work for this agency, we always do some type of golfing thing. So I literally only touch a golf club once a year. This was the first swing of the night. Maybe it's not bad for someone who doesn't do it. This is towards the end. I took a bunch of their tips And I felt like I got a little better. Made contact with a bunch of balls. I went to grab my hotel key, and this is not an uncommon sight. So we got one for today, one from the last trip, and they just keep going. Reward points are going up, though. One of the most difficult things for me when I'm on the road all the time is to eat just somewhat healthy. It's usually eating horrible, and it's no different on this trip. I'm trying to be healthy, but like it's so difficult. Anyways, back what I need to do for tomorrow. We have a 7:15 a.m. call time in the lobby, so I'm just making sure all of my V mounts are topped off. We have a backup gimbal. The only different thing for this shoot is I'm gonna set up a director's monitor. So my choice is I like to use iPads, and then I use a very, very old Hollyland 300S transmitter. And Hollyland actually contacted me before this and said, hey, take whatever product you want and we'll give it to you and you can do a review. And I was like, I have the 300s and they're fine. They're great. And the Hollyland rep was like, oh, that's very old. And I was like, well, it works fine. So I don't need any new products. I also don't like feeling like I have to like show new products. But it's very easy scout day. It's nice that this is planned and we have time to go over shot lists, talk with the other crew members, talk with the client representatives. So 2 shoot days left. So we had travel day, scout day, and then we have tomorrow's shoot, next day's shoot, and then travel back to Florida. So I'll vlog it all and I'll see you guys on the next one. And I almost forgot, I was gonna say how I got hired for this job. There was 2 big reasons. One was my gear is included in my rate, so very easy for them to book me, to book all my gear and avoid all this rental that they have to do on their part. And the other reason was because I've worked for them before, and the person who can make the decision to hire certain people is familiar and they trust me. Without that, it doesn't matter that I have the gear. So it just shows me repeatedly how important it is to have a network, a strong network, because in this situation, I'm still as qualified and experienced and available, but if the person from the agency doesn't know me, then that means I don't get hired. So I'm always trying to just get onto as many sets as possible, show that I am working all the time, that's what these vlogs are, and just get people in the mindset. David is always working. He's always getting hired. We can bring him in, no problem. So that is like a big, big thing with this vlog. It's just proof of concept that I am getting hired and working.